Thank you, folks. I sure appreciate you all being here today. One of the main reasons that I am running is because the county commissioners right up the street here have forgotten that you matter. They've totally forgotten the fact that you as an individual mean something. We're standing right now in a place that's very special to me. The county commissioners should have stood up for county businesses, and they didn't. And instead, we have that one place right here, one of the best places for food in this county, that stood up for what was right for their employees and for the citizens of this county, and the county commissioners would not stand up for them when the state decided to come in and try to punish them.
Right.
Now, our county commissioners should have informed the state that if they were going to attack or try to punish any of our businesses, that we're going to file federal suit against them for deprivation of rights under color of law, interruption of commerce, and a myriad of other issues that they should have done to protect these people.
Yeah.
I so love Kitsap County. A great example, there's many of you that I know here, many of you for a long, long time. I know what it's like to be attacked by your county government. I've stood up against the attacks from this county government. I will stand up for you. There's no backing down when it comes to our rights. None whatsoever. We have some very special people involved in law enforcement in the city of Port Orchard and Kitsap County. And the people that have their feet on the ground are so frustrated with the leadership in this county. Do you realize that the county deputies do not take an oath to uphold the state constitution? Did you realize that? They take an oath to uphold Kitsap County Code. You know the Kitsap County Code says that you can't plan a dance without going up and paying a fee. You can't dance with your wife. Sweetheart, I want to dance with you tonight because we're going to violate Kitsap County Code.
We're going to dance right now. Woo!
We do often. Folks, those sorts of codes need to go away. And our officers, our guys that have their boots on the ground, need to know that their number one job is what they signed up for. And that was to protect your liberty, to be the peace officers that they want to be. They don't need to be out serving warrants for violating county code. They need to be out there protecting your individual rights. The state of Washington's Constitution is near and dear to my heart. It's one of the best documents in the nation for a state constitution. Article 1, Section 1 says, we the people, or excuse me, that's the preamble. We the people, I'll go there first, because that's the fundamental issue we got to get back to. We the people of the state of Washington, grateful to the supreme ruler of the universe for our liberties, do ordain this Constitution. Article 1, Section 32 of the state Constitution says a frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential to the security of individual right and the perpetuity of free government. We need to get back to those fundamental principles of, number one, honoring our Creator for the liberties that He's given us, and then seeing to it that our Constitution is enforced. When you see your neighbors being hassled by some county entity, you need to stand up for them. Most of the people I talk to within the county that actually work for the county, many of them are great people, but they know they need to please their bosses. Well, if you put me in that position, you know how they're going to please me? By seeing to it that your rights are protected. By seeing to it that they come to me if they know of or hear that any aspect of any liberty or right you have has been infringed. You need to decide how to run your business. You need to decide what to do with your property. Folks, that's how we build our economy. Kitsap County and people that are running against me will tell you that they want to rebuild the economy through their office in the county government. Folks, that doesn't work. the government is a drain on the economy. What was it that Ronald Reagan said, that the 9 scariest words are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help"? It is the problem. And it's time that it started working for us. Because in reality, if we have it in perspective, what is the government? It's we, the people, right? It's time for us to take it back over. In every position that we have, you need to see to it that someone is a strong constitutionalist. You know what a strict constructionist is? That's somebody that looks at the Constitution, reads the writing of the framers that put it together and says, what it says is what it means, and we will enforce it just like that. Article 1, Section 1 of the state constitution says all political power is inherent in the people. And governments derive their just power from the consent of the governed. How many of you consented to a shutdown? Anybody? I don't see a single hand up. Therefore, it is unjust what they're doing. The consent of the governed, and is established to, okay, this is where the meat is, folks. This is what our government is established to do. It's established to protect and maintain individual rights. That's the only duty of our government. When you go up to the county and you say, look, my rights are being infringed on by some other actor, their number one job should be to jump up and figure out what they have to do to stop that. Again, you have property. The county has flipped on people that have owned property, I don't know how many times, and changed zoning. They refuse to stand up to the Growth Management Act, and that has to stop. Kitsap County Commissioners have actually put in place restrictions more stringent than the Growth Management Act. I know people that have bought property wanting to build on it. We're 9,500 housing units behind right now for where we should be. If it wasn't for the county commissioners changing zoning so that you can't build on your property. The reason the price of housing is so high, the reason the price of rent is so high, is a simple supply and demand issue. People that have bought property can't build on it because permitting is unbelievably through the roof. For you to get a site development activity permit from the county, there's no set fee anymore. They told me fairly recently, $6,700 is the starting point that's then eaten up at the rate of $150 an hour of review time. And when we run out of that, we get to charge you more. There is no set fee. And if they don't like your project, they don't like you, guess what? There's another level of permitting you have to go through. Oh, gee, just another level. Not only that, we have found that with those permits, they have now put code into place that says for them to even accept your permit and that $6,700 or whatever the amount is for your permit, you have to have all these studies done. So that $6,700 permit that they told me that I have to apply for, before they will even accept the $6,700 and start review, it would have cost me over $45,000 before they would even call the permit complete. Folks, they're stealing your property rights, and it's time it ends. Yeah. This is the most serious issue that we face here. We can't go along to get along. There's a lot of young couples that want to buy a piece of property. You should be able to move your small motor home on it until you get the money that you need to go ahead and build on it. You should be able to do that. You should be able to help a family member, let them move into a travel trailer on your property, help them get their head straight. They talk about the homeless issue. Well, Kitsap County punishes you for trying to help somebody today. They add a layer of bureaucracy. They say you have to go to them, get a permit, pay a fee, and now you've invited them to come up and inspect your property at their whim. All of that's got to end, and it can. Folks, this is an exciting time. It truly is, but you've got to get busy. Anton here Glennie mentioned earlier, so many people do not understand how quickly we're losing our liberty. A lot of immigrants do understand it because of what they came from. Some of you have served in the military. Many of you I see with distinction, and they've been to other nations and they've seen what's happened over there. A Marine colonel recently came to me and told me he was getting out. And the reason he's getting out is because he goes to other lands to defend their freedom, and he comes back here and more of his freedoms are gone. We need to stand up, folks. I have stood up, and I will continue to stand up, regardless of how tough it is. My name's Marcus Carter. I'm running for Kitsap County Commissioner in the 2nd District. We need your help. We need your help. Sign waving, let's face it, unfortunately, there are people that vote just based on name recognition. And we need your help to get the word out. One last thing I did want to mention, because again, it bothers me to no end. Large developers are backing one of my opponents. Do you know that if you want to build something on your property, as long as you have enough money, you can have your permit moved to the top of the list and pay an expedited permit fee. That's another thing that must end. If you got in line and you filed for your permit, yours is the next to be processed, period. It's got to be that way. Your individual rights matter. Thanks again, folks.